refuge and bodhicitta. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. Founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. One, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth. You paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom motion like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds. Winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean. To you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, and path to sublime pure reality. To the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated, who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts. To you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, in all aspects. With supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash, a lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of God's protector's heart, to tip of this fresh, pure, white heap, curd like cloud, O Losang Dragpa, Dharma's omniscient king, Pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead, on lion throne, lotus and moon, venerable gurus smile brightly with delight. Pray stay hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit field for my mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, fame, glory, outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit, non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted three vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practiced, shunned eight mundane concerns, made life essence-full. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray loose a rain of vast, profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make Venerable Losang Dragpa's essential teaching specially shine forever. Mig me te wer ter chen chen raising, dream me kien pei wang po jam pel yang, du pung ma lu jom ze sang wei dak, gang chen ke pei tsu gen song kappa, lo zang drag pe jabla so wad. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remain steadfast. Homage to the exalted three jewels. Thus have I heard at one time, the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagriha on Vulture Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of countless aspects of phenomena called profound illumination. At that very time, the spirit of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfectly at the practice of profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness, inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Sariputta said to the Superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, how should a child lineage train and wish to gauge in the practice of profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the Superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Sariputta as follows. Sariputta, whichever son or daughter lineage wished to gauge in the practice of profound perfection of wisdom, should look perfectly like this, subsequently looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Sariputta, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics. That is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Sariputta, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, object to touch, no mental phenomena. There is no eye element and so forth up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance and so forth up to no aging and death, no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Sariputta, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times by relying upon the perfection of wisdom become manifest complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed perfect complete enlightenment. Therefore the mantra, the perfection of wisdom, the mantra, great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, since not false, should be known as the truth. The mantra, the perfection of wisdom, is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate paragate parasam gate bodhisoha. Sariputta, this is how a bodhisattva, great being, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the Superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Sariputta, the Superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly of all worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the host three places Dakinis. Tayata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisoha. Through the power of truth, the exalted three jewel speech, may all on the side negativity such as the four Mars be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they become pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, Santi Kuriya Soha. The 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, freed from adverse harmful conditions. May all be conducive, perfect auspiciousness, bring happiness and well-being here, right now. Sashi Poki Jukshing Me Tog Tramri Rabling Ji Ni De Gen Padi Sangye Jing Du Mig Te Uar Gidro Kunam Dag Jing La Cho Partial Jetsun Lama Dampa Kenam Ki Choku Kala Kien Se Trindrigne Jitar Tsampe Dulje Zinma La Jab Ge Choki Char Pawab Tu So Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami Chonam Chamnim Chamnam La Chamcho Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dapchen Chamnim Chamna Gir Drola Penchia Sangedra Parshuk Chodam Chamnim Chamnam La Changcho Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chonyan Kabnyan Samna Gir Drola Penchia Sangedra Parshuk Chodam Chamnim Chamnam La Changcho Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chonyan Kabnyan Samna Gir Drola Penchia Sangedra Parshuk.
Hot. You want air condition? Air condition?
Well, you're barefoot tonight.
Uh-huh.
You're barefoot tonight.
You're barefoot?
Oh, no socks.
Oh, yeah. How about you guys?
No, I got socks.
Oh. Yeah, today's warm. Anyway, it's wonderful. Warm weather. It's very wonderful always. Not too warm. Anyway, okay, what to do? Anyway, I don't want to set up. I think most people are senior students, senior ones. We don't say older ones. Tibetan called Gemba. Going with older, right?
It can also mean senior. Gemba.
Gemba senior. Tibetan called Gemba means the senior ones. Maybe older. I don't know. It's okay. Anyway, set up the perfect motivation for all mothers and siblings. Therefore, I'm going to study about Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. It's very important. Then you do a little meditation, okay? Not play the drama and bells. Okay? Whatever you're comfortable, all of you know the positions, We have 7 or 8 different positions to meditation. In order to long meditation, it's good for the, follow exactly the position of body, because there are so many different meanings. But for us, maybe 20 minutes. Can you guys meditation 20 minutes without
Without your mind wandering. Can you stay in single pointed concentration for 20 minutes?
No, right? Therefore, then we don't need to just the positions. Because the positions have so many different meanings, our body be very relaxed or very strict, then our wings go be very strict, then our mind will go more clear. But for our, just, I plan here, or we have movement. But if you long-term one, that's good for them, different meanings, Even now that, talk a little bit of meditation, meditation has 2 kinds of meditation, analytical meditation and concentration. In order to concentration, we need to learn about analytical meditation. That meditation has also, you can meditation so many kinds. You can meditation refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. You can meditation compassion. You can meditation loving kindness. You can meditate meditation. Meditate on the bodhicitta. You can meditate death impermanent. You can meditate perfect human rebirth. There are so many different. Then you can meditate emptiness, all kind. Okay? Therefore, taught like a refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is, best refuge. Tibet karo kunla karo chadam yaba nyiri chimbo ngawas. Then anyone has, Buddha don't have, of course, kunla nyiri meba nyewa da rinpo yo mares.
So one who has perfect impartiality without closeness or far.
아니 이제 좀 상발이 열었어.
So Geshe-la is describing the various qualities of the Buddha jewel, what makes him an object of refuge, a suitable object of refuge, and one of which being his perfect impartiality without having partiality with close or far from those who are good to him or who are bad towards him, and then having equal compassion towards all beings equally.
아니 펜따마다 탐시 덤제 그래서 펜 소설에 펜따나 마다나까지 정말 펜도시 그래서.
And without regard to having benefited to him or not, being a benefit to all beings equally.
Therefore, we are not like that, right? We say, okay, this is my close ones. Will be nice talk, be nice. If you're nice, sometimes then you're not a little bit you are difficult, something to you cannot agree each other, then just kick out far away, right? Then also we say I want to benefit from all. We always say I want to benefit from all mother sentient beings, but we really not much to do, just forgot that for other beings far away. We cannot benefit from our who or he or she always go with us. We always complain them. Therefore, it's example, the text doesn't say that I can just apply together. And the text says, if you're not thinking, you're not able to thinking your own free from the suffering. Is correct?
You're not able to think about freeing oneself from suffering. Right?
You're not able to think other things.
Therefore, how can you possibly think about
Yeah,
freeing
like that.
others from their suffering?
You just have to think about that. You're not able to help benefit for your own community or your own family or who are with you all the time, then other people just forgot. Right? It looks similar. Therefore, always try to much as you can. Also, I always mention you guys, most of you all study Buddhism very long time. Sometimes we have to check our own, how you say,
So one should always check one's own actions of the body, speech, and mind, one's own body, speech, and mind.
Right? We always think, what I've said best one, I did read one. We always think that we also see so many faults others, but we don't really check our own actions. It's very bad for. Therefore, sometimes check, okay, 20 years, maybe 10 years before, I'm like that kind of person. No, I study Buddhism, I'm much better. Maybe 10, 15 years, you're a very calm person, you're not much, ego, or you're not much, something to, that. But now you study Buddhism, you become more, you see more faults, others, more ego, this go wrong direction. Therefore, we don't want like that. We need better, we're not worst. Right? Sometimes we become worst. Okay? Okay, now we do a little meditation. Sit, much to what's comfortable for you. Visualization yourself, okay? Try to feel your own mind. First 3 times, very deep, breathing in and out and in. Then within your breathing, try to feel your own mind. It brings your mind, come here with your body. Try to feel your own mind. Or try to feel your own feeling. Then visualization front of you, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, your teachers. You don't have to say, okay, Buddha's left, Manjushri right, Buddha, not like that, just all the Buddhas front of you. All the holy beings front of you. Within that, all the mother sentient beings, father, mother, enemy, neutral people around you. Particularly from you, one being has very gross suffering, like dog or cow, loses their 2 legs, try to get up, like very, emotion. Visualization one animal like that. Then looking that, try to develop very strong compassion. I wish to free from suffering there animal. Try to feel something. Within that, also recalls for all the holy dharmas, holy Buddha Dharma. Please blessing to all of us to free from the suffering. You feel some blessings come from Buddha, the color of the light, drop that there from the animals' suffering to recover to the old suffering. To complete recover. Then you feel joy. Other beings also feel joy. Then you share the joy to all beings. Okay, stop that. I've taught you, so many different kind of meditation ways. This also taught you some one way to easy way, something, Otherwise you say, okay, Buddha's here, my teacher's here, someone other, that's too complicated. Just you think visually, all gurus, Buddha, front of you. All mother beings front of you, around you. Then you, try to develop compassion, always try to visualization, very, very, gross suffering one. Because, Baba told me, there was a bit of a kalaya, cho chimabo, and the dungaran samba yopaji, Tony, any ninja chimushuchene, and the human jet was.
Because Geshe-la said, for example, when Arya Sangha was engaging in the meditation of loving kindness, when he saw Buddha Maitreya emanate, Buddha Maitreya was actually Buddha Maitreya's emanation of a very sick dog with a big wound gash that had a whole bunch of maggots inside it and was eating away the wound at it and so forth in a very suffering state. And Arya Sangha, seeing that, developed very strong compassion and loving kindness towards the dog. And so I'm sure you guys are familiar with that story where it was because of that strong loving kindness and compassion he generated within his mind stream that he was finally able to see Buddha Maitreya in front of him.
Okay? Although you guys looking at me and Anishi, I hope they will free from suffering. Your mind doesn't change anything. Because you don't see any problem. If you have a problem, you don't see anything else. No, that looks good, yeah. They both shave head. You don't feel that. Therefore, for our
For beginners?
For beginners, I'm not you guys beginners. For us, I'm beginner, but I don't know you guys. They were taught to very gross compassion, develop compassion. You can see some very gross suffering one. Okay? Otherwise, okay, like that. Okay? Then, taught to, when you study something, then try to analytical meditation, then try to contemplate as much as you can, okay? You don't think, I don't have time, or I'm too busy, I'm to walk, not like that. You can do 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Usually the Tibetan tradition, we don't do puja time, we don't do meditations. They always are, we don't, analytical meditation, of course, some monks there, meditation, analytical meditation, but usually we say, in the last couple of years ago, so His Holiness Dalai Lama mentioned maybe we should meditation like 10-20 minutes in the puja time. Just like that, Therefore, meditation is very important. His Holiness Dalai Lama also meditation, like he's doing his daily practice for 6 hours. He's like 4 or 5 hours of meditation. Like that, okay? And whatever we learn something taught to meditation, I always say, our practice and our body or our mind has big gap, like elephant go through. It doesn't work. Even cannot go to any kind of long wind.
Even the wind should not be able to.
Yeah, we need like that, okay? Then always try to check our own attitude. We don't check our attitude. I know what I'm doing, I'm perfect. Oh, I didn't do any wrong things. Oh, he did, she did. We also compare others. This is a block for our practice a lot. Okay? Then what else? Now today we have talked about a little bit pujas, but pujas, I have some couple things to mention you guys. And we should learn everyone to do all pujas very good. Otherwise, we have maybe 10 years you come here, but still you don't know how you set up the pujas. Right? Therefore, we need to go.
So you do pay attention.
Yeah, more pay attention, Like, our Guru Puja, we always some mistakes, right? Sometimes also when you offer, sometimes also you put that empty cup on the altar. This empty cups, our cup to drink the juice, is not offering. Therefore, don't put that in the future. Okay? But this is the substance things. But usually, we have the Tara Puja, Medicine Buddha Puja, Guru Puja. Pujas or prayers also very important for us. Whenever we have some problem, you do the divination.
Divination.
Divination. They say, okay, you have to this puja, this puja, this puja, this puja. It shows also, then puja has some power. Therefore, we have Tara Puja, we have so many, obstacles for our life, right? Today is fun, tomorrow some problem. Tomorrow something problem. Always, just same is like the Chinyama, Chunyama and the oceans like a wave. That's correct. Same like oceans.
The mind can be like instances of mind can be like waves.
Problems.
Or problems.
Yeah.
Problems can arise like waves in the ocean.
Right. One finish here, another one coming. Another one come like that. Therefore, one way Tara Puja is very good for our activities to, purify or obstacles go away. I always say in the monastery, like I don't know all the monasteries, same like Sera, they have all different prayers. They don't have so many prayers, but Tara is most important. Sometimes every morning they do like 60, 70 times, 2 couple hours. The monks all recite. In the Tibetan, like His Holiness Dalai Lama also took some divination. They say, okay, we need 100,000 prayers for Tara. That's very, powerful prayer. And always I say, Tara is, like a unique Buddha. Is it unique Buddha?
It's common.
Common Buddha. In the whole Tibetan traditions, there are 4 different main traditions. They all follow same Tara, like Buddha, Therefore, I think you all have also 21 prayers Tara. You already memorize it. You can do as much as you can. Then we have, if you are not able to, the short one. If not able to, even the mantra sometimes, it's very powerful. Then, I don't know, if it's Lama Zopa Rinpoche or Geshe Tsulga or maybe APMD organized, every center has the 8. We have the Tara Puja, Tara Prayer. I think it's also, they thinking so many things, why we have to do that, There were, I don't know why they did, meaning what their mind, but the big reasons. Therefore, I always say, try to come, maybe, you can say, promise, I'm going to puja once a month. You can come, Tara Puja, Medicine Buddha Puja, or Guru Puja, anyone. Real puja, and then you go to recite that also, always Buddhism start to refuge, then four measurables, right?
For immeasurable.
This, we have to think about that. Then after that, we have always, surveillance praise, right? Every puja have some. This, we have our daily practice of prayer, develop like that. Okay? Then the offerings, we say, okay, Tara doesn't take all the pujas, why you have to put that? But it is also into our madness. Correct? Correct. Okay? Therefore, it's also very important wherever we offer is also
so it's important that that it's not that the offering substances are obtained without deception, that they're obtained in the correct manner, ethically, and that they're not mixed with the 8 worldly concerns and so forth. So if the offerings were to be mixed with the motivation influenced by the 8 worldly concerns and so forth, then that would taint your motivation for making the offerings. Okay. And then also, if probably none of you have to worry about the so I forget the exact terminology that is used to translate it. Basically, inappropriate livelihood, the incorrect livelihood. Wrong livelihood. Right, that was a symbol. So basically, obtaining your offerings, the substances through incorrect or wrong livelihood, simply put. If you were to make offerings that were obtained through wrong livelihood, then you'd be creating the wrong causes, thereby getting wrong results. So also important to bless the offerings. So usually when we are reciting, when we're engaging in the prayers, we also recite the verses of blessing the offerings before offering them and so forth. And so these types of offerings that we make, the best that we can present, whether it be the best quality, the most, whether it be most beautiful, pleasing to behold, and so forth, as beautiful as pleasing and as good as they are, then by that same amount, then we'll be able to accumulate that much merit. For mandalas.
Yeah, for mandalas.
Okay, so there are 2 different types of Tara Pujas that can be offered, the Sitamani Tara and then the 4 mandala Tara?
I don't know.
I'm not sure how it's translated in English, but 4 mandalas in relation to Tara. And the ones that are, the one that we perform here at this center is the Chitamani Tara.
And the Tindi Yamana and the Druma Mendashi and the Chejuris. And the Romatamati Lamechadioris.
And so among the 2 different types of Tara Puja, the Chitamani Tara belongs to the highest yoga tantra, whereas the 4 mandala Tara, Tara 4 mandalas, that belongs to the action tantra, level of the action tantra.
In the Tashitan Romatament, the Mendashi was the Mendashi Pegdos. Mendashi the Pegdo. And the take me the Kanetaka comes. And the Drama Shemata is Jer Mayors. This 마
가리기 마을이래.
에티드 칼은 초바친지 되게 가네 아트 컨퍼드 취소지도 좀 먹어요.
So the Chitamari Tara Puja that we offer here also has
much short.
the-
Then you want was.
so it also offers we offer mandala 4 times, right? But Geshe-la was pointing out that the ritual, the prayer itself is much shorter, abbreviated compared to the other one, which is much longer, much lengthier.
In that
elaborate.
담보 가르치는데 내내 땅에도 좀 어떻게 많이 콘솔다 담아야 하고 메트로 있는 땅감도 그디나데 좀 땅도 요르스. Why they want to choose that demonstration here? But we doing. I thought it
Yes,
was.
I think this is good. Please continue.
You know, I don't know why they choose that, but we doing that every center. You know, I think doing the stamani tara. You know. 근데 다 내가 뭐잖아요. 딱 나한테 뭐 드림 뭐 시행 메트로.
Okay, so he said he doesn't want to continue to elaborate too much because that would get into the topic of tantra.
Yeah.
He would prefer not to do that today.
근데 이제 다 간도 가지고 남지 제단으로 어디나 이제 오늘 제거세요. 오늘 제외는 건드기 없어요. 제단도 봐. 좋아야 피탄다. 제단도 야 보려고 그래서.
So he said, in short though, whatever we're doing in terms of the method of making offerings, the substances that are offered and so forth should be pleasing.
아니 딱 나도 남주 가서 지금 나라도 troubles잖아요. 지금 라바가 차다지는 집에 누워서 내가 주신이 라바가 차다지 집에 됐다 주신이 해줘서.
주신가요?
다 주. 그런 예주 장가서 예주. 내가 간지 주변에 요 악은 받아 베겠어. 내가 다 때라 다 갈로 다 베게라 예주 장가서.
25.
야. 이제 메가. 다 예주 간지. 다 간지 그게 미가다 갔다. Well,
they're called just offering substances, different offerings.
Yeah. 다 간지 내 이제 다 야가 야가네 룩소 마한테네 용해서 야 룩소 진.
So Geshe was using a specific term in Tibetan which I hadn't really heard before, but it has something to do with the 25, number 25. But anyway, he was referring to that you'll see the number of different offering bowls that are usually set up, and that each one of the water offering bowls represents a specific substances, which relates back to the old Indian tradition of the various offerings that would be offered to a visitor who visits one's home.
단다 장소 야가 무상들이 나온다는 더 나가나지 건도 제거를 해서 담보 비 조미가 고다 지다다 비 친이어다 친이 매도 옹내들 친이어다 나 근데 자로 친이 라보 비싼도 was and then 조미는 마티 그랬어 조미 강 친이들 하고 그랬어 the two waters before the two extra right yeah they will be to count the after light the two waters do you see two waters and no, this is just someone just put that. It's okay. Yeah, it's not correct one. Okay. Yeah. No, it's okay. Is there the lights here? Or let do us. Okay. Don't count the two waters above there. Okay. And then the first water for offering for the wash your mouth.
Rinsing the mouth. Rinsing the mouth.
Yeah, rinsing the mouth. When you go to India, they also give the water first, you know. The second water is wash your feet.
Washing your feet.
You know, that's very, you know, there's some actions, you know. There's, you know, some people are very good actions, you know, I'm not very good action. Pamchula is very good, you know, they have some. Okay, tamam tambo karimako was. Chu tambo de ane kachia. Chinipa de ane kambatuyres.
So Geshe-la was saying that it's important to know what these substances are for, what they represent, and among the first two, among the set of offerings, the first two water bowls that you see there, the first water bowl is usually the water that is given to guests. Since in India, in the old days, they used to travel from far, and you know, dusty roads and all that. So then first they'd be given water to rinse their mouths. And then the second water would be for them to wash their feet before entering the home. Then after that, you have the offering of the flowers. And also in Indian tradition, you have you might have seen the tradition of offering offering flower garland into visitors.
And
after that, you have the offering of the incense. And so Geshe was mentioning that each of these substances then now also are an offering to a specific sense power. Okay, so then flower, although it may have different qualities, solely the sole purpose would be to be pleasing to the eyes. And so then, of course, the offering of the light is usually for the sense power, for the eye senses, for the eye consciousness, pleasing to the eye consciousness. But the flower is also can be an offering for the sight, as well as for the sense consciousness, the nose sense. So after you see the light which was offered to the eyes, to the pleasing sight, you see another water bowl offering there. And that represents perfumed water to be applied to the body. And then after that, you'll usually see a bowl of dorma or fruit offerings. And so that represents, the dorma usually represents food. And so usually in the text, in the puja text, whenever we recite the Sanskrit words Argam Vajan Pupe Dupyalake and so forth, then you should at that time think and visualize that you are offering these substances, these offering substances to the idam, to the deity or the Buddha, that in relation to whom you're engaging in this practice.
Okay?
And so even though what we might have placed on the altar might be few in terms of amount or number, but you should, when you make the offering within the practice, you should try to visualize or think that they're immeasurable, or that they're innumerable numbers of these offerings being presented.
Okay.
And then you will gain much more merit that way. And also then we usually use the Vajra bell and damaru, the drum. And usually you ring the bell, or you hear the ringing of the bell and the damaru at the very end. And so what that represents is the offering of sound, of music.
Okay. And
so usually in an Indian tradition, guests will be offered replenishments, fruit and so forth, and then also entertainment in form of dance and song. So kind of representing that. And so these offerings are basically represented in the forms of sense objects, of form, sound, smell, touch and taste, and so forth. These are offering substances,
Okay. And
so usually what we have in front of us, in front of Geshe-la's table as well, the Vajra and the bell, and there can be many different associations and meanings associated with it.
다
Okay.
도도로거나 아니 도지 되게 탑 생겨서 탑.
So without going into all the different elaborate meanings and so forth, in brief, the Vajra represents the method.
탑 먼저 네 락바 섬에 가라 가르쳐 거잖아. 신인 때서네 상마제 법을 남부로다 자선 탑 작가에 봐 삼십 된거 그래서 이제.
And so then when one holds the Vajra in one's hand, one should think about all the different methods that one is to practice on the path, all the way starting from proper reliance on a spiritual teacher, all the way through enlightenment.
대체는 저 도지 락바 섬에 고쳐고 그래서.
고쳐.
도지 락바는 섬에 고쳐버렸어. 곱쳐버렸어. No, quite much. It's meaningful.
Okay. So
If you hold this,
so if you are able to think of that, remember that when you are holding the Vajra in your right hand, then you would have made the holding of the Vajra in your right hand, as Geshe-la said, meaningful.
okay? And the trouble 가지 나와서만 네가 혈압 좀 그래서 혈압.
And so then usually the Vajra, the bell, is then associated with wisdom.
좋아. 근데다 야 trouble 가지 나와서만이나 아니 동반이 다음에 뱉다와 못하게 걸때 something 때 챙고 그래서.
And so when you hold the bell with your left hand, then you should remember or think about, reflect on emptiness, selflessness, impermanence, and so forth.
Okay? 다 되니 되다 탑다 혈압이 냠살람 말든 간도 상제로 그래서.
Tapan Shiramni?
냠살람 말 때는 상제 그래서.
So when you
탑시 순례.
Zunder, yeah, I know. When you have a union, when
Can
you
you
have the
teach your
union
English
of
word?
method and wisdom, when you have the union of method and wisdom together, and that's by that approach, then you will be able to achieve enlightenment. Therefore, holding the method, the Vajra in the right hand, in union with the symbol of emptiness, the bell in your left hand, holding that together, then represents union of method and wisdom.
아니 빠데 나와서 오만 집에 이게 슈슈도 요래서 와. 아니 남비 잡보든나 소랑가 말까지 된 남바도 가지 쇼파니 베제타니 잠도 타이란도 그래서 베테나 장안소야 탑당 샤람이 냠살람 발라 때네 아니 산제 공부 토발 쇼고스 물음자가 요래서.
So there's a verse in the Entry to the Middle Way commentary.
오만주바.
Commentary 말해.
자와.
Okay, so there in the
리텍스.
yeah, Arya Chandrakirti's root text of Entry into the Middle Way. Is it the way it's translated?
빠데 나와라.
빨리 나.
야 오만주바 tom이.
Chandrakirti로.
그래.
알지?
오케이.
He's checking me. So composed by Chandrakirti, Entry into the Middle Way. Yeah. So in that text, towards the end, there's a verse where Chandrakirti makes the statement that the big swans, the big white birds, I'm not sure if it's referring to the swans or to geese, but anyway, big white gracious birds, that they are able to fly.
장강바.
세상아발라 남균 스완라의 양열에 닭라의 양열에 구스라의
Maybe
양열에 goose. Anyway, so there's one word in Tibetan called Zhangangba, and I've seen that translated basically as a big white bird that can fly long distances. Some have translated as swans, some have translated as goose, some have translated as ducks, But anyway, large big white bird that can fly large distances when they migrate. So there's this imagery of such a white bird that by relying on these two big white wings, that it can migrate and cross across the ocean, to the other side, to the shore. And so, similarly, by relying on the two wings of method and wisdom, that we ourselves can also fly across the shore from samsara to the shore of enlightenment.
다가나 이제 그 발생이 나는 양소를 아니 지금 혈압다 탑다 혈압이 파다 말 빼찬 송을 들어.
가와나?
발생이 나 발생. Yeah.
So also on the text in 발생 뭐나 레벨 발생 가리 레벨.
발생은 무슨 말다. 너 발생 딱 그러와. 발생 어떻게 갑라 송을 들어. 아니 깜짝 놀.
Okay, so in the ornament and clarizations, usually in the study of the perfections, it is also mentioned that method and wisdom
are
are referred to as father and mother.
배나 보이지 말라 가도 인지 다 파만이 까지 제대로 그거 대대 지워래서.
For example, in order to, well, usually, in order to, in order to, for a child to be born, you need both father and the mother, or you can say the father's substance and the mother's substance, to be technical. Anyway, in the same way, so similarly,
된대자 간지 탑다 히라님의 매바이나 간도 탑 주보다 히랍 주고 간도 상지 돕고 말했어.
And so, similarly, without both relying on both method and wisdom, like a child needs to rely on a father and mother to be born, without relying on both method and wisdom, we will not be able to achieve enlightenment or liberation.
된대자다 신의 대대로 삼고 땅와 제와 마다바 삼고 땅와 아니 단주니까 삼고 땅야
가리니까?
단주니까
단주니까.
안 다나지게 아니 파신 당봉하게 냠내 가리 제와도 참아나간 전에 찍더라고 그랬어. 아니 탑.
So then, when we think about the method aspect, then we should be thinking about from the very beginning of the Lamrim subjects, topics such as properly relying on a spiritual teacher, on death and impermanence, precious human rebirth, and the difficulty of obtaining and so forth, all the way through the different perfections. Whatever has been specified and taught as the method aspect, the paths to achieve liberation and enlightenment, that's what we should be thinking about or remembering when we think about the method aspect. And also similarly, bodhicitta, the awakening mind, as well as the great compassion, loving kindness, and so forth, all those belong under the category of method.
아니 혈압 세야 돼. 뭐다바도 배 혈압. 다음에 또 배셔라. 또 많이 또 배셔라. 또 되게 그랬어.
And so as far as wisdom is concerned, we're talking about wisdom that realizes subtle impermanence, selflessness, and emptiness, and so forth.
어떤 줄 아니 혈압 세더니 탑다 혈압이 냠살랑 발랐더니 아니 너도 그 상태로 그랬어.
And so that's what we refer to when we talk about the wisdom aspect of path. And so by conjoining method with wisdom, then
아니 상태가 그랬어.
and then we'll be able to achieve it.
배는 간소이 더 주로 다니도 거울을 봐서 간소 샹산 봐봐 냠자 발라나. 봐봐 냠자 봐도 이시가 독사하기 그랬어. 이시가 독사는 양 제대로 세선에 양 손은 독사하기 그랬어.
Okay, so here we're getting into terminology again. All right, so so when some of you might have already studied or heard about it when an Arya Bodhisattva enters into uninterrupted meditative equipoise on emptiness, right? At that time, he or she is engaging in the collection of wisdom. Okay, in our collection, we have merit and wisdom. Two types of collections, right? So when an Arya Bodhisattva is engaged in the uninterrupted state of meditative equipoise on emptiness, at that time he or she is working, gaining, increasing the collection of wisdom. And when he or she arises from that state of uninterrupted equipoise and then engages in activities, those beneficial activities would then fall into the collection of merit.
Okay. 어디니 냠을 된다는 것도 되니 냠을 되는 것도 손은 부족만 못 사거든. 손은 부족사고 그래서 냠을 되니 제와나 손은 부족이 못 사고 그래서.
And so if one were to be able to practice in that way, then you'd be able to collect a lot of merit.
아니 손은 야보 사와는 간도래 띵에 빠지 개가 용 말해서 말해서.
And if you are able to collect a lot of merit, then you will be able to be free from obstacles, from inconducive conditions, and so forth.
배제는 가서 무수번 타나 여기 일단 타도 타서는 거라. 간지 수도 야보 있는 나사도 때 저까지 가요로 왔어.
For example, if you have someone who is in very strong good health, then it would be more difficult for illness and illnesses to be able to affect that person, for that person to get sick.
그래도 무슨 친구 들어야 하는 데도 있는 바치고 말씀하러 왔어.
And so similarly, when you have someone who has very strong collection of merit, they will not be as easily affected by obstacles of various kinds.
내가 배잖아서 손음 남마 대두 가로 손음 남마 대두 동아 탐제도 손음 대비 미 삼만원 좀 접수하러 왔어. 손음 요와이나 안정에 바치 센터와리 아니 소소는 되다 가이는 접거래서.
So he just recited a verse, which I'm not going to translate into into poetry here, but the meaning is that those who have a lot of merit will be free from obstacles, yeah, and unfavorable conditions, and they will also be able to accomplish whatever their goals are.
Okay? Today that Namjiha Gosata, Nelaba Samkalaya, Chiwamataba legendary, going with the local son of Kogo. Kaji. Chiwamit, Karo. Demar, Tatabra, the Master. Kandana.
And so when you hold the vajra with your right hand, remember to contemplate or at least bring to mind the method aspect of the path of beginning with the proper reliance on a spiritual teacher, karma, perfect human rebirth, death and impermanence and so forth. Yeah?
And then they love us Kadinaya.
And then when you hold the bell with your left hand, then to bring to mind aspects, the wisdom aspect of the path, such as subtle impermanence, emptiness, selflessness, and so forth. So usually when people see someone using the vajra and bell, they would think that that person is a practitioner of the tantra. So whether one is actually a bona fide practitioner of Tantra or not, many lamas and our holy teachers have said that one can have the vajra and bell as an object of offering on the altar, as a representation of symbol of Tseten. So yeah, so as an so for example, if you have holy images such as Buddha statues and so forth to place on your altar as an object to which you make your offerings, that would be great. Even if you don't have that, then you can also use this as a representation of enlightenment of the holy images and so forth.
Okay.
So even if you were not to use it at pujas, if you have them, you can bring them to the pujas, and you can just leave it on the table in front of you. And then also, if you were to use these ritual implements, first you should learn to use the vajra and the bell well before you add the element of the damaru. And then also when you use the vajra and bell, then to always try to remember, bring to mind the method and the wisdom aspects of the path.
Okay. And then sometimes Nija told us, something Dara the Tomaya, Travel Dara Mata, Nija the Lama Mata here. Dara Travel Mata, Tibeta the Lama Matas. But Dara the Travel Mata. And the Tibeta the Dara Mata. Nija Travel Lama Takamadis. Mandara the Toninja, Yaman, Data, and Data Maris. And then Chitana Chitam, the Tanya
So Geshe was saying sometimes you might have instances of ringing the bell but not ringing the damaru, or ringing the damaru, using the damaru but not ringing the bell, or ringing both but not saying anything, not reciting anything with the mouth. And then so it's not good to interrupt one's recitation of the text just in order to be able to use some musical instruments. For example, again, Geshe Tsulga would always say, every time we scold and say, always recite out the words first. That's of the first priority.
Okay. And
so then there is a certain method to also ringing the bell, and not to do it as Geshe-la showed in a very kind of noisy, clumsy, clunky way.
지난 것도 아니 미션밖에 나 아직 야본 어떤 거래. 양아도 sabda ngadu chetal de mission bala ya tewaloya. Tepaloya. Tende ngadu maya machonga chegores.
And so then even to ring the bell in a gentle manner, and also that will be more pleasing for others to witness, to experience as well, and to see. Whatever actions that we do is important to be cognizant, not to become a negative condition, or for a negative condition for others to lose faith or to create negativity in their minds.
Okay, those chedayo martara 다른 곳이 되더라. 그런 cheda요.
So there are different ways, of specific manner in which these ritual implements should be held, and so just as Geshe demonstrated, you shouldn't be holding it apart with your arms apart like that and ringing it. Usually they are held kind of closer together. And so you might have witnessed some practitioners using these implements further apart, held further apart, and maybe they have their own tradition of doing things, but in the tradition that we follow here, that of Lama Zopa, usually the method, the manner in which we hold these implements are kind of closer together towards them. And so also in this tradition of the Gelo kind of tradition following Lama Zopa, our teachers have stated that not to, usually when we use our hand to engaged in expressing mudras, not to make such elaborate, showy gestures, but rather subdued. And so then some people might think, that these are just implements like normal, ordinary musical instruments to play. Yeah, but it's not like that. There are very great meaning, very deep meaning associated with these implements and how to use them. So to be respectful, mindful.
Okay. Then and by Shamba Rodachi but Shamba Tala Mela to your money,
and so what Geshe just described, is similar in Lama Zopa, in Tara Puja. With the Medicine Buddha is a little different. With the Sutra ritual of Medicine Buddha is a little different. But in terms of Tara Pujas, in terms of the Guru Pujas that are held here, it's similar. So the first water bowl offering, when you're making the water bowl offering called Urgyen, in Sanskrit, you should do as Geshe-la is showing you right now. That represents the first water for rinsing the mouth. And for the second water offering, that of rinsing or washing the feet, it is so. And for the offering of the flower garland, so okay, so Geshe was explaining that there are different, depending on the different tantric levels, tantric classes, yeah. The ones that he's showing you right now, he's showing you an aspect of the gestures that are used in the highest yoga tantra, yeah. And for action level tantra, there might be different gestures, mudra gestures, hand gestures that are used when making offerings. So he's right now showing when we that is the action that he's showing you for the offering of incense. And then this mudra that he's showing you right now is for the offering of light. Aloke, and then that gesture that he's showing you right now is for the offering of perfumed water, gende. And that is for the offering of the food substances, nyude. And then for the offering of sound or music. If you don't have vajra or bell that you are actually using for the offering of sound, then the first gesture that he showed would be the representation of that. And then if you actually are using the vajra and bell, then you can ring your bell at that time. And so the main meaning and purpose here is to think as you're doing these gestures and reciting these words that you are making the offering, that I'm offering these substances, I'm offering this to this Buddha and so forth. That's the main thing that you have to remember.
Okay? I think like that. 남주 나도 주변이자 건도치 많이 냠도 도저히 냠 tun샤오 그래서.
And so when you usually place the damaru, the vajra and bell on the table in front of you, you should place them together, not apart.
And take a tap the ceremony kamata chita ko timri ngado.
And so it's for the auspiciousness of making sure that method and wisdom are not separated, that they're together.
Okay. Now any questions?
I have a question. Is very basic one. You do the prostration without hearing the seven prayer and you do it with refuge and bodhicitta, but what's the rule for it? Because sometimes I don't know if I should or if I shouldn't, or
you were saying refuge and bodhicitta.
bodhicitta, reforming natural law, seven prayer.
당가서 점보 전제를 해야 되는데教育의 연대 전제부터 내가 가서 즉 something 그러와. 산지 주변에 연대 제 대련내 솔로 대바지 가지고 다 뭔도 기대와. 뭔도 기대 톰도 기대와. 대로 용도 기대와. 한 대바 휴치 뭐지는 당가서 즉 다가로 대바 휴치 뭐지는 다 도시 시작을 들어왔다. 그 톰도 들면서 그 말이지.
And so there are no specific rules as to when you should, put your hands together in that mudra of prostration. But like, for example, when we are reciting the refuge and bodhicitta, especially the refuge part, then we are doing it with the strong faith, deep faith that arises from conviction in recognizing these qualities of the three objects of refuge, right? And so it is at a strong faith that we usually kind of put our hands together in a form of respect and prostration. There are no specific rules per se.
그래서 나도 조나들이 등대배 걸어야 나도 미는 지만좀 릴리 바쁜 좋아. 근데 조나다 샘라시고 라바라시고 공고도 그랬어.
가지갑스.
미는 대대도 고속도 얘들도 야보 이문에 샘마지 제만은 나도 미는 지만 좋아. 릴리 바쁜 좋아. 샘라시고 공고도 그랬어. 리수라시고.
And so if we were to really think carefully and really understand well, appreciate the qualities of the three jewels, then automatically we will have tears springing to our eyes and have hair rising, and just kind of automatically put our hands in a show of deep devotion and faith and respect.
그래서 샘마고는 리보그로 지금 말해.
But if the mind were not to be moved by deep faith and appreciation and respect like that, then the hands will not automatically come together in a show of prostration.
근데 남중앙서 여러 미세대 미 파조발라 세명만이 지 90매나 그것도 보고 그 상세히 그 내대 그래서.
And so usually when you see someone walking in towards you and you don't really have much respect for that person, then as Geshe-la just showed, you might have a different way of manifesting your, you might have a different bodily attitude. Yeah?
야만에 좀 많다는 것이 내대 그래서.
Such as that, like that.
Maybe you don't want to see, maybe you just, oh, I don't see you like that. It's just cause similar 기습제는 도움이 돼서.
I mean, the way that Geshe-la expressed those attitudes, bodily attitudes, it's because you don't have the desire in your mind to show respect towards other person.
또 당한도 남백의 친구니 쟁이지 딱 이마에는 당한도 삼아 집어 저도 집으려면 돼. 아주 배전하다. 깨웠다만 가나에 무시배 내가 셔도 사바셔서 또 깨웠다만 수행하도 신경 말에 그대나 사도 최고 송을 했어. 저서 음식.
And so it's in the text that we don't know who the holy beings are, right? And therefore, if we're a real practitioner, no matter who we are, if we're real practitioners, then we should be very careful and respectful towards all beings, right?
타외 요번 매도진데 내가 셔도 사바셔서 송을 했어. 타와 올 매일 동이 와지 가나야 집안도 샤자는 것도 가와하고 말아서 대도 집발했어. 깨웠다만 가와 신경 말했어.
So, for example, if you have hot burning ambers, like a hot pit of burning ambers, and then, but on top of that, have covered that with dirt so that it cannot be seen that what's underneath. And then, if you're not careful, then you might step and then be burned by the burning ambers underneath the dirt. So similarly, one should be very careful because you cannot judge someone just by their physical outward appearance. And since we don't know who real bodhisattvas are, the highly realized beings are, one should be very careful like that.
지진의 가디는 지나라 코로나 등에대 산지도 산지도 들어와 지나라야 주베 개개질레바미 스바르스로.
So for example, the person who is always testing your patience and who always annoying you and getting you angry, pushing those buttons just in the right way, could be emanations of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who are doing that, who emanated solely for the purpose of having you practice patience, yeah? Be an object of your patience. But of course, we would not be able to accept that, right? And so we'll say there's no way that could be true.
Okay? Other questions? 어때도 남정도 라면 주백이야. 솔라되고도 소등도 전화도 된다. 샤다 찬이 미사와들이 이임지 될 고말레발 지등도 대체고 말했어. 미사와들 내가 있나? 이 장 랭고서 어떻게 돼 대체고 말했어.
And also Geshe was saying that when we perform the Guru Puja, yeah, and then for the Palamadana, the respectful terms for the ordinary terms of meat and liquid substance, when we have newcomers to the puja, you shouldn't offer it to them or force them, feel like they have to take it, force it upon them to partake of those substances.
근데 소화도 계획 말, 소화 말로 하면 지치나야 양 남도 누가 들어서 시발해서. 아. 근데 같이 제고 말해서 인지 받제고 말해서.
And so, in order to, in one hand, to prevent creating negative condition for those who are unfamiliar with the practice, who might not want to participate, and to put them in an uncomfortable position, yeah, of having to do something they don't want to do, right? And on the other hand, it's also prescribed in the text that one should not offer these to those who are not suitable, those who do not know the meaning, who have not had such certain prerequisites and so forth.
어떻게 되는 같이 얘기해도 아니 단다 좀 소라 소자에도 저렇게 미치게 제마다 같이 지나 미치면 나가도 땅에 말하러 들어왔어. 소자에도.
And also Geshe was pointing out that when the tsok is being offered, then to make sure that different people take turns having that experience, that it's not always the same person who stands up to offer the tsok. And that way, if that one person is gone, then no one else knows what's going to happen, what's going on, right? So important to kind of rotate.
나도 그리나 몸은 소댕해지. 소는 가도 나왔다만 저거 이러고서. 나도 대 자야 주는 분들 대 도나야고 이제 제일 따르셨어. 이간게. 자야로 면도. 나도 야뭐 도나 제일 볼까.
So, I mean, we have pujas every single month. We have these different pujas several times every single month. But when people don't know, those who are participating in the puja don't quite know how to offer things or what actions to do at certain times of the puja, it goes to show that people have not been paying attention. And so then you don't know, you might not know what's going on. You go here, you go there, and then you get overheated, and happens like that.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
So he said, in the monasteries, of course, the offering is always the monks. They're only monks. They're only male. So everyone, anyone, both men and women, both sexes are allowed. Doesn't just have to be women.
Okay.
Haim used to offer, remember? Haim Dorje. He used to.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that it was only women actually.
No.
It's so,
No.
It's interesting.
Or else in the monasteries, how are they going to do it?
That's right. That's another question.
Then 소소 또 something 좋아 샤메도 또 당하시다 다 그러나 내가 그러나 샤메도 그랬다 메리아 샤메도 남주 샤샤샤 도움도 가시면서
Good.
가지 좋아 샤메도
The Shamtin.
Yeah.
So Geshe said that usually he is aware of Deborah or Marianne being responsible for the setup of the puja altars.
I've got a bunch of people now.
Yeah, good, yeah.
Okay.
나도 Jennifer was running. You done? Oh, good. This 소소 고가야 버 소소 그냥 제
Oh, but it's the first time. She's
Oh, good.
afraid.
So he said these are, for yourselves, it's a good opportunity to be able to learn, yeah? And so then to take advantage and to try to make the
가지
effort.
저도 대 레가티나 더 테라레. 레가티나
Mhm.
테라레고 교화 용어 말에 서로 따라 지나는 교화 납중이라고 그랬어.
And so he said if you think of it as work or chore, then you're not going to have a good attitude towards it. If you do it voluntarily, by thinking of it, recognizing it as an opportunity for you to create merit and to learn, and then, you'll have a good opportunity.
오케이. 그래서 나도 대 남배가 싫다 그랬어. 있어. 나도 남배가 싫다.
So this is the Buddhist Daishetan
다 납다.
Lapdang. It's the way, the manner
Yeah.
of the Buddhists.
나도
how we practice.
든지 나도 쓰는 거 족사 그러려 그랬어.
And so if we practice in this way, then we'll be able to, accumulate merit and so forth.
Okay. Any other questions?
Is there a reason why we just do the Medicine Buddha and Guru Puja? I mean, I know there's plenty already, but I know there's the Shakyamuni Buddha Puja, there's other ones. Is there a reason why these three?
I think Geshe mentioned before he wasn't sure who set up this puja
Yeah.
structure.
In
So
the-
you'd have to ask them.
It must be.
시도도 빼좀 샵대 뭐 강아들 들어와. 근데 바지다 너도 단들해 봐. 다 정마다는 게 랍자인 봐서. 아니 메라드는 너도 민 나와있는 뱅그리 미시와는 뱅그리. 당도 그들은 대용어로 보지. 다 손은 붙여 쏴야는 아니 예라 대단되는 남란단되네. 발신 투도지는 냠내지야 너무 쳐발려 요 말이지. 근데 너도 내가 들어서 많이 이러지.
And so Geshe had
근데 딱 되고 봐.
So if he were to take a guess as to whoever set these up in this way, he said, of course, as he mentioned before, making praises and offerings and practicing in relation to Buddhatara, Aryatara, helps to remove obstacles, right? And helps us to achieve our goals, our activities. And so that's one reason why Tara Puja might be performed. And then as for Medicine Buddha, it is specifically beneficial for those who are sick or those who have passed away. And of course, we always have sick and passing away all the time in samsara, right? It's so very beneficial and useful, practical. And then in terms of accumulating merit, combining both method and wisdom aspect in practice and so forth, there's nothing that is higher or more meaningful than the one that is offered through the Guru Puja. And so.
그래서 멜란도서 제바드는 지나서 삼도도 로고스 되는 편이다 고르스. 멜란도서 제바죠. 제바.
I don't think there is a Medicine Buddha Puja,
big one.
A very long, elaborate one. Yeah, the one that we do here is an abbreviated version of it, abridged puja. Yeah, and so Geshe was saying that if you have an opportunity to read the long version, and then read all the different benefits of reciting and making the practice in relation to the Medicine Buddha. And so the benefits are very, very great and very beneficial to read.
Okay, first Bob.
So I was wondering if there's a specific meaning at the time when you hold the Vajra out more prominently, and then
because of the, there are many different meanings and many different distances for everything, yeah, and also because of different traditions.
He said, in short, basically it's, you can say one aspect of it is to present or engage in these actions in a pleasing manner.
And then
yeah, and so if it's in relation to explanation, in relation to various aspects of Tantra, then of course there are many different explanations that can be had here. But in short, what you walk away from this is that, in short, that the Vajra and the bell represent Vajra the method and the bell the wisdom aspect, and that in order to achieve enlightenment, we need the two in union.
Okay, now Jennifer.
How significant is the melody when we're doing a certain recitation? Sometimes I've heard other pujas where it almost sounds like they're chanting differently, like a different melody. And is it as powerful just to chant the words? Is the tonality important?
Yang di tunayora. Tunda di vegetane ene donyada ene siksam tobatsam. Denila kepache.
대체화치 뭐 이래서 따다는 거 동문이 지나 곰자고 그래서 곰. 아니 특다다 곰자가 먹고 사람다 그래서.
So of course there's a big difference between the two. Usually when we use the tunes to recite, we usually do it. Reciting with the tunes in and of itself takes longer time, and usually it's used to meditate while you are engaged in the recitation, yeah? Because it gives you also more time to reflect. And usually when you just recite quickly without the tunes, and then that's usually no time to really reflect and meditate. You're reciting the words really.
먼저 세라가 니마치 로치를 따지마, 혈압님을 따지마 당해서. 혈압님을 주보 바지 지순이인 거 그래서.
Yeah. So he said about once a year at Sera Je Monastery, there's a special puja where they recite the Heart Sutra just one time, but with this very, very slow tune. It takes 2 hours to recite.
One time. 니마 별라도 별이나 미카실 세라는 라사 마도 먹이 내가 차상지 이하는 나 고등이 시람님 단단히 타요 말했어.
And then one time in the Sera Je in Lhasa, someone came to Kawamando. So Sera Je in Lhasa is like a little distance from the city itself, right? And from the commercial area. And so when they began reciting with the slow, long tune of Heart Sutra in the morning, someone from the monastery, a monk, went down to take care of chores for the monastery and do all his work and so forth. And at the end of the day, when he came back, they were still reciting the same Heart Sutra. So, yeah.
And 세라야, 먼저 세라지야, 난도 장주 전부터 토했어. 대갑려야 쇼킹하고 주로 이반에 야노 주로 수만나 양 속고 그래서 대가로 혈압은 분이 뭐게 가래 걸 뚫어지 시거든 주로 같이 걸 뚫어지 시거든 믿는 배 지나 들어와요 근데 봐봐요 보는 저 봐요 다시 듣지 않는 들 주로 같이 이거 곱대
Then Sera Je
혈압으로 가로다
I did the priest Buddha shaking many times.
다가니면 혈압이 뭐 그래 주로 같이 이거 제대 제가 거 그래 주로 같이 이거 제대 제가
So he was saying that also at Sera Je in India, there's one special time, one special puja
week.
where
1 week
1 week,
Yeah.
1 week of special pujas, and during this time, even just one verse of the Heart Sutra is recited over more than 20 minutes.
대가로 안 들어와서 마시니 그때
At that time, most of the monks probably are falling asleep. Because you also wake up very early in the morning, like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock.
대가로 개그용 조금만 들어
And at that time,
개그도 그 쪼쪼서 말 왔어
so at that time, the disciplinarian, usually the disciplinarian will be presiding over the pujas, the morning pujas, when the pujas are and to go walk around and check that the monks are reciting properly and so forth and not falling asleep or doing something else. But during that special time, the gekus are not allowed, that they won't be attending that puja because he won't be able to walk around and disturb anyone from meditation. Because he won't be able to tell whether they're sleeping or meditating.
근데 이제 다 공대는 자기로 왔어 다 조가니 다 대구들 가든 안에 대구서도 있고
So those who are meditating probably are really meditating, but those who want to sleep will just kind of, and fall asleep very quietly.
그래서 이놈은 별 정도 별라 되게 담보 가져야 돼 근데 지도 가라니 개구주야 고 저거대 이거로 가라야 너네 땀을 거 그때 말했어
And so this tradition of comes
not
from
tradition
no, not tradition.
I call it
Once
story.
there was a story. There's a story, incident account. You can say there's an account back at Sera in Lhasa.
Yeah.
And so back in Lhasa, at Sera Monastery, there's an account of how there was one monk who was very deep in meditation, but the disciplinarian came and thought that he had fallen asleep, and so was about to strike him with his mala to wake him up. But just as he was about to do that, then the head of deity Hayagriva showed up, emanated from behind the monks, and so. And so most likely the monk who was in deep meditation was probably meditating on deity Hayagriva.
그래서 다 되게 되는 되는서한테 아니 너무 된다고 갈았다 개그가 안 놓쳐 말이죠.
And so based on that, from that point on, during this time period when there is a slow recitation with meditation going on at the same time, the Geku disciplinarian is not allowed to come to the puja.
Anyway, 그래서 따뜻한 거다 뭐네 곰수자기로 특대나선 당겨 그랬어.
So when we are reciting with the tunes, especially the slower tunes, that's when one should be engaging in meditation at the same time. That's the purpose.
Could I ask one other question about that?
Sometimes, for instance, with the Taoist phrases, I've heard different tunes, and also in different languages sound different. Is it just to create meter for the language, so that it fits, or is there sort of a deeper meaning to it and significance?
따뜻한 말아봐.
가리 맞춰야지.
집발하나 가로. 맨날 너만 더 던져봐나. 주 고마가 나오면 너만 가간다고. 되도 되갈라.
진짜 미총몽을 해야지도.
야, 룩소 말하는 용도 소소소 가간도. 근데 테마도 고민색이 절로 가서 계획 좀 알아봤어. 로 뒷민이로 가간도 애들 뭐 뒷민이 요래 절로 체중 올라 그래. 저대로.
Okay, so Geshe-la was saying that there isn't necessarily like more blessing or more power to this kind of tune rather than another. It's just that it just comes from different lineages or different traditions, or and so probably for the English tune, it's just something that is somewhat similar to the Tibetan, but at the same time more fitting to the English. That's probably how the English tune developed.
오케이. Any other questions? Yes.
While we're in a puja, it's important to have the visualization and then reflect on the words. But let's say with the Guru Puja recitation, sometimes it's hard to do it all at the same time. Trying to recite the Tibetan, keep track of what the meaning is, where you are reciting, and try and keep the visualization. So,
so first, it's very important to set up a proper motivation. And then, of course, once the recitation begins, it can be very difficult, especially if you don't know the language, yeah? And so, if you're honest, and of course it's very difficult to meditate and do all these things at the same time, especially in context of something like Lama Zopa, where you are reciting in a foreign language that you don't understand, yeah? So as you might have understood from his gesture, so what's important here is that initial motivation, to set up a good motivation, and then stirred by that good motivation, then just go with the flow. And then also then, as you're reciting the puja, not to be distracted by negative thoughts of like saying, oh, I don't know what's going on, I didn't do that properly, or what's going on, creating, and then try not to give in to arising of negative thoughts. And then also when we are engaged in during the puja activities and so forth, not to get angry with each other or get in fights. If you were to do that, then actually it is a big negativity.
Okay, sometimes
we get impatient or something, right? You can get angry, but avoiding that.
No one's perfect.
So you break that vow, you get angry at yourself.
yes.
Okay? You have a question? You have a question? You have a question?
I was kind of wondering if you wouldn't mind clarifying sort of the requirements for actually performing mudras and using the bell and dorje in terms of highest yogic tantra initiations and etc.
가디 배치당 초바당 안에 소속이 다 혼로라지 다 연대 양나데 소속이 근데 라메데 다 왕라주 슈산에 대해서를 다 조당한 데리베스.
다들 생이 상황이 좋아하는 분이 지금 왕슈 자다지나 마통도 배쳤다 좋아요 말들어. 생이 상황 좋아하는 근데 다 대상 생이 상황가 무슨 전에 나주지는 자문이 기능들어.
So Geshe was saying that if you were to be strict in accordance with the definition of someone who is ready to use these implements with the meaning and and all that, then yes, one should ideally have initiation, should have learned about some of these things before engaging in using them. But nowadays, people are not very strict about having the requisite requirements and so forth before using ritual implements, right? Those who are not even necessarily who consider themselves Buddhists will just, buy them and use them and carry them around and so forth. So.
아니, 배나 하루 lapranalaya, 나 어떻게도 나.
뭐네?
오늘 저도 나가서 나봐야는 뭐네 나봐야. 쇼나서 저는 티쇼 마들라 그랬어.
So, for example, he was saying that at Harvard, I didn't know this, but at Harvard they actually teach about Tantra, and actually that would not be something that would be considered appropriate, in the strictest sense of Tantric practice and so forth.
배는 라마 일려서 그거야 단들 하루가 개개소리야 그 가봐 잡소서. 두바 잡소서. 단두바 가봐. 그래서 배는 줄래. 안 저런 되고 초 말했어. 거기서 가르상을 써요 말했어. 써요 그래서. 고들라는 거 가르상을 써게 요 말했어. 근데 그런 써요 남세배는 뭐 개소설 써한다고 해서 되게 치바래. 그것도 고들 가봐 잡았어.
So I guess there was a visiting Lama from Tibet who had visited Harvard and found out that these courses on Tantra were being offered just openly for anyone to be able to enroll in. And so then he got into an argument with the professors at Harvard saying, you're really actually not allowed to teach these subjects in such an open manner like this. Irreverent manner in this way. And the professors were like, that you should be taught in secret and only to those who are qualified or who have such, mental predisposition towards this practice and this method of study and so forth. And the professors were very kind of belligerent. They were kind of like in disbelief, saying, "What is there to be secret about? There's nothing to be secret about this. Why shouldn't it be taught? What's wrong with teaching it in this type of a open course seminar way?" And so there was a disagreement, and Lama kind of gave him a good scolding, I guess, and then explained why that there was a need for these teachings to be kept in secret and so forth.
And could land the Japanese. Can get some of the message. Get personal.
And then the example that the Lama gave to the professors who were saying that why should this be secret? Why is there any need for this to be secret? Then the Lama said, do you have personal secrets? Do you have things that you have personally have to keep secret or that you feel is appropriate to keep secret? And then so then this professor said, of course I do, right? So then the Lama said, then it's exactly the same. And so if we're being strict, traditionally speaking, unless one has received the proper initiations, empowerments, and so forth, we're not allowed to discuss these topics. But nowadays, it's just everything has just been done without.
Okay. And they are just social media. Public key on the key mars.
And also these ritual implements, usually one uses them in the privacy of one's own room or house and not necessarily bring them out into the public, right? Where there are a lot of people showing them off to a lot of people and so forth. But now wherever you go, you see people just openly, publicly using these and showing them off and blah blah blah. Yeah.
And think
So I mean, of course, if one were not to be careful and use these in secret and do it as prescribed, then one is invited. The reason for doing that is to, if you don't do that, then you would be inviting obstacles, and also you would be creating obstacles yourself, receiving blessings from the practice that you're doing.
Okay, now what happened? Your question?
That was my question.
Do you got the answers?
Yes.
So much 대화용이. 근데 그 배치다나 교육 말았어. 저도 대화용에는 그 그런 거 받을 게매. 근데 그 냐나고 다른 해나 그 처에 되냐는 그러고 줘봐겠대. 냐는 그러고
So Geshe said, if you have no other worldly intentions or motivations or thoughts, but just out of deep faith and respect, if you were to, for example, put it on the altar as an object of offering, and
소소 간에 집에 가면 다 사요나 다나 그러고 간에 집에 다 사요나
And also within your own practice, daily practice and so forth, if there is a place to use them in the context of your own sadhana or own practice, and then in the privacy of your own home, if you were to use it, then maybe it's not. There's no big fault. Yeah?
Okay. Yes.
Would you speak briefly about the damaru? Who can use that and when?
Something true page tang kapangal tang and something tang marthro. Tangado. Something true page tang tang and something tang maras. Tate tang the tenda de guy shows came though. Tande show to Chiban or rest. That injured Tseten Dembaina than the thing in love Chibare.
So if we were to be strict, doing it in accordance with the prerequisites and so forth, those who, fulfill the requirements, being able to, someone who fulfills the requirements for using the damaru, then you'd be similar to what Geshe-la just answered to Laura's question, Someone who has had specific initiations and introduction, has learned some things about their practices, and it's used in relation to such practices and so forth. But if not, then
that Nuntala Kanji, but you have done your go to us. You can't dance him and do it. Tamashi would put in someone you take a chicken, they will.
So at any rate, if one were to be using the damaru, then you should first learn to use it properly, in the correct manner that it should be used, and not just any way of just making the drum make sound,
And that's not the kid, the chopping or something that know. Okay.
And so if you were to be using it in your own practice, in your own homes or whatever, then you can think of it as also an offering of sound, of music, along with the vow.
Okay? The Tamboya Chun so Nala was Janthro. Chetan Jam, Mimamo could begin your decking or chick touching what I want to us.
Then Dalai came to some
Can just also pitch it down, I will can pitch it down, she was yours.
Okay, so at any rate.
Meaning some of them,
Okay, so Geshe was saying at any rate, if you decide to use these ritual implements in your own practice, then you should at least make the effort to be, to learn to use them properly, right? And then, and also, if you cannot think about all the meanings, at the very least, learn to use them correctly in terms of actual. And so then if you don't use them in your practice, but have them, then at the very least, then you can place it respectfully along with other objects of offering on your altar. That's also fine.
Okay.
Is there a deeper meaning to it, or is it just sound?
A lot of different meanings that are associated with the drama. It's just not appropriate to discuss at this time. to be blunt about it, it's just not appropriate.
I don't know if stop. Talk too much. I don't know if you guys will get anything or not. The main point is what this is. What?
Method.
Method? What is? Wisdom.
So the main point is that you need to think about that the Vajra represents method, and then the bell represents wisdom.
And then they also
and that you need to be respectful towards what these implements symbolize, and thereby, and then respectfully place it in a clean place on the altar.
Okay? Okay, I think you stop. Then you don't know. Okay, I already told a little bit, what the meaning of altars. Always try to nice. Also, don't put the empty cups there next time. Okay? Then I'm going to use this one. It's not very good. Okay? Okay, I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thanksgiving mandala on page 39. Sashi poki ju te oar gidro kunam dag jing la cho parshuk jetsun lame kutse rabten ching nam kar trin le chok chur ge padang lob zang ten pei dron me sa sum gidro we mun sel tag tu neg yur chig idam guru ratna mandala kam niryatayami. From my two collections, vastest space that have I amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may it become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may it be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of completed graded paths of the teachings. May I please all the Buddhas by practicing, using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion. May I clear the darkness for the minds of all beings with the points of the paths that I have discerned them. May I uphold Buddha's teachings for a very long time, with my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings, not yet spread or once have spread, have declined. May I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children, may all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Whoops. Long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, 49. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Mandranath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And prayers of dedication. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious Supreme Bodhi mine, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. and Razig, Dreame Kien Pei Wang Po Jam Pel Yang, Dan Chen Ge Pei Tsugyen Song Kappa, Lo Zang Drag Pei Shabla So Wade. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Geshe-la. Thank you, Aniyeshi. We have tomorrow night, Aniyeshi, lovely. We're going to do a discussion group. We're talking about the continuity of mind at this point. So anyone welcome. It's from 7 o'clock till 8:30-ish. Might go longer, depending on how into it we get. So, but you're free to leave at 8:30. And then on Friday night at 7 o'clock, we have the Patara Puja. So please come join us if you want. As Geshe-la mentioned, there's always opportunity to do setup. Lucille and myself will be here, but if you're interested, be here, and I'll be happy to give training and step back and so on. And then on Sunday, after Sunday class at 12:30, we have Guru Puja. And then on Saturday, there's family-friendly teaching with Geshe-la from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So if you have any kids, anyone, everyone's welcome. And they're doing a course, a series of teachings every month on the aspects of Buddhism. And this time, I believe it's kindness, if I can remember right. But anyhow, please join for that. And then there's a lot of things happening, so keep an eye on the calendar. Stop me if you have any questions. And please, afterwards, help. We're going to take down water bowls, put things away, and the usual things. Thank you. Thank you, Aniyeshi. Thank you, Geshe-la.